Welcome to Pats Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
This is our episode for November 12th, 2018.
Ahead for Henry, will slap it cross ice for Austin Pratt, right wing at center. Pratt gains the American blue line for the right circle, shoots and scores! Oh, what a shot, Austin Pratt! Top corner, short side, and the Pats lead 30 seconds in. Gains the American blue line, drives right corner, now trying to cut out front, pass into the middle off the stick of Marco Creta, finds again, shoots, and scores! Marco Creta! That's Paddock's got his first career Western Hockey League shutout. 20 save performance, and the Pats have won 3 straight, 2-0 the final.
Okay, we got a couple home games to look at here. We're finishing up our homestand. Overall, pretty successful homestand, I think.
Yeah, no, that was a couple good outcomes. That
Really-
first game was a real good game.
Really
for them.
good. Yeah, so let's get into the Tri-City game. Coming into this match, we both weren't expecting a win, to be honest.
No, they were hot rolling in.
But-
5-game winning streak.
Yeah, Tri-Cities was a good team that came in. I think it was the first game of their road trip, so
Yeah.
they really should have been fresh and ready, and they didn't have any excuses to look sluggish. But boy, this was the best game I think I've seen the Pats play this year.
Oh, by far.
It was it was a lot of fun to watch. It was just a team win through and through. I was just
Definitely. Yeah.
I was so happy after this game.
Yeah, I think in the first period, I think was kind of the key to 5-on-3, like killing that early. We got 2 penalties on the same play. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
I seen Creta get called, and then you heard Crane get called, and all of a sudden I'm like, there's only 3 guys out there. What the hell's going
You're
on?
like, that guy's so open. What's going on? Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Then
like,
you
we
count it up. Oof.
We killed off that 5-on-3. Like, Paddock made some big saves. They missed the net a couple times on those cross-ice one-timers
Yeah.
that we've been getting scored on
Yeah,
in
yeah.
bunches. So I think that was a huge key. And then, scoring 30 seconds in doesn't hurt either.
Oh.
Like, that's huge.
It was, and I don't know how much it was that TC was bad or if we were good, a combination of both, obviously, but some coaching or something's happened with that team, and the block shots and they just looked like a different team out there. They had a lot of passion, and the skill was showing, and our number one line is
Red hot.
absolutely dominating
Yeah.
and looking fantastic. The things we were missing at the start of the year, we were talking about them not getting the goals and points. Well, now they are, and they are.
Yeah.
That whole line
And
is
5-on-5
hot.
too, right?
Yeah.
Not just on the power play, right?
It's just, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great game. Like,
I
I was
don't-
thoroughly impressed by them. They
Yeah.
must have really worked on some stuff this past week here,
right.
right? So like Henry blocking shots late in the penalty kill.
It's like a 5-1 game, and they're still laying down.
Yeah, he blocked like 3 shots.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And they're playing for each other right now, and it's awesome to see.
Even Alkamov in the Swift Current game, like late, he was blocking shots, trying to preserve that shutout. You
Yeah.
can see him; he was
Yeah.
like, flying all over the ice.
Yeah, and Paddock is back.
Yeah, he looked really good. That Tri-City
We
game.
knew, like, it was those couple games he just wasn't looking sharp, but these last 2 he looked
Yeah.
good. He's back. If he's back in that mindset, he's
That'd
a
be
good guy
nice,
to have
yeah.
back there.
Yeah, he wasn't really tested in that Swift Current game as much.
No,
But the Tri-City, man, he made 5 or 6 top saves.
yeah. Just, I don't know if they can keep that momentum and that sort of play style going. They're gonna win a few games.
Well, yeah, we've got 7 wins now. Like,
Yeah,
we're not,
Well-
there's a bunch of teams with 6, 7, 8 wins. Like, we're not that far out. It's just we don't have any of those loser points that's keeping us down a bit. But, I mean, there's half a dozen teams with as many wins as we do. So we're not doing too bad now. We're kind of getting hot here.
it's crazy to say, but and getting a little ahead of ourselves. I know we have a big road trip coming up, but we have as many wins as Moose Jaw, who's in the last
Okay, there you
wild card spot.
Yeah.
They have a few, of those loser points, but I had almost written off playoffs for this team, And who knows? Everyone else is just. I think it's the fact that no one else is that good either.
No, yeah.
But yeah, like things aren't getting out of hand just yet.
No. It just took them some time to get going, right? Just get some chemistry and some belief that, you can win some games, So I think that Saskatoon win really, really gave them some confidence.
Well, 3 in a row here now.
Yeah, exactly.
That really helps. Moose Jaw's sitting at 18 points. We have 14. They've only played 16 games. We played 19. So,
okay.
There's a lot of mathematics going on, but we just keep winning and we'll take care of it. So,
definitely.
That game, I left that rink. I was happy with that. I was a little worried Swift Current coming in. I don't think they're as bad as maybe their record proves. They can put together games. And we've seen the teams that they beat. They beat Edmonton after Edmonton whooped us.
Yeah.
So they're not a team that you can sleep on.
No.
You still have to show up and play. And I was a little worried after this Tri-City games how well they played. Teams seem to do that. They crescendo and they say, Swift Current will whoop them. And even on the radio broadcast, they were talking about when they have these big road trips coming up, they can kind of get a little excited and forget this one game and just want to get on the road and have some fun. And I think we saw that we were lucky to get, well, I wouldn't say lucky, but they certainly didn't play
as well.
Stellar.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't awesome.
No, it was like the pace was slow.
Yeah.
Like it was
it's like they played down.
Yeah. Exactly. We played down to their kind of pace / level. Like,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was a real boring game.
It was boring. It was straight up boring. I'm glad we won, but it kind of felt like that Edmonton game. Just
nothing was happening
no
early.
Flow, nothing.
There was like how many shots in the first period combined? Like 10 shots. Like it was. There's no scoring chances except for the one goal we scored on. Right. Like either team didn't have any scoring chances.
Yeah.
And it was just a boring game.
Not really a
fast game. Like it went by quick because there was like no whistles. It was just kind of like back and forth.
Yeah. But stayed out of the box for the most part.
One penalty.
And we got the shutout, so obviously didn't give up any shorthanded or not shorthanded, but goals against.
Yeah.
Paddock's first WHL
shutout.
I didn't even realize that. They announced him as the first star. And I didn't realize that just out of how many games he's played and how good he's been for his first shutout. But, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. I wonder, Dubinsky, like, he didn't play in Swift Current, so I was kind of wondering, was he injured, or maybe did you sit him because he took 2 bad penalties in the Tri-City game? But
right, and we were wondering that. You're already down 4.
So I don't think you'd sit him just because, but you never know. Right?
And, because they played their fourth line without a winger. So I don't know if they were just cycling through or what they were doing.
Yeah, I wasn't really
and had
noting
ultimately had 8 defensemen dressed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The coach's decision there, they must have felt, well, we don't know. But he didn't go off hurt, but he did take some dumb penalties.
Yeah, there was 2 bad penalties.
Against Tri-City, so maybe that was just their way of saying smarten up. And obviously putting the team at a bit of a deficit, maybe, hopefully
against
he recognizes
team,
that.
Yeah, playing a good team, right? You can't take those stupid penalties.
Yeah.
We got out of it, but maybe just sending a little bit of a message. You never know.
But all in all, we've got a little win streak going here, 3 games in a row.
Yeah, there we go.
That's good for confidence and just what you need going into the long road trip. So
got to make some hay at home.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly what we needed to start getting going here. So it's Monday morning. We were thinking, we were just looking ahead toward this road trip, and they're playing Tuesday already.
Yeah, I didn't have the away games in my phone. I totally didn't even.
Yeah, so
blanked until I was kind of looking up some notes. And making writing some stuff down for the show, and I'm like, oh, they play tomorrow already.
Yeah, so Tuesday they're in Kootenay. We played Kootenay once, beat them. Looked like the better team we did looked like
Yeah.
the better team for that game. Hopefully that keeps going. Kootenay's doesn't look like they've improved just by their record.
No, and they made a trade too. They traded a couple of their guys away to Moose Jaw
Okay.
and stuff. So, and they just lost to Calgary 7-3 last night. So,
And Calgary's not a stellar team
no,
either.
they're right
so
on kind of equal.
I
footing
think this
there.
is a winnable game.
Yeah, definitely.
We were talking about when they would have left. So I saw Paddock tweeted, or not tweeted, but he Instagrammed from the Ryder game. So they were here yesterday. We think they probably are leaving today. That's a pretty long trip. It's a late game, 8 o'clock Kootenay or local time.
Yeah, I'd figure they'd leave today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we hope so. That's a long trip to go and then
Yeah.
play a game. So hopefully they're leaving today, get there, maybe even get a skate in today, get some rest,
Morning
So,
skate, just like
yeah.
a regular game
Yeah.
day, and then
start the road trip off right. You don't want to
Yeah.
start it off tired and
No.
all bagged.
I wouldn't think they'd leave tomorrow. I think they'd leave today for sure.
Yeah. So to me, that's a winnable game.
Vancouver, Victoria. That's going to be
That'll be the challenge of this
Little
road
bit-
trip.
yeah, a little bit tougher. Vancouver
Yeah.
doesn't give up any goals.
No, we were
Both.
looking through. We were trying to pick out the players to watch for them, and they don't really have any
They don't have any high-end
superstar
scorers.
scorers. It's just that both teams don't let in goals.
Yeah, Vancouver's second best in goals against, and both their goalies are real good.
Yeah.
Their backups 5-0-1, a 135 goals against, and 955 save percentage. And he's got goalie of the week twice, and he's the backup.
For Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then their regular goalie is 8-4-1, 223 goals against, and a 913 save percentage. So
So they don't score a lot, but they don't give up a lot. So
Yeah.
watching these games, we're going to have to score.
yeah,
If we can get even hopefully 3 goals on them,
yeah,
that'll be. And if you look at Victoria's goals against, you got to remember they had some anomalies when Outhouse was out.
Yeah, they gave up a
And
bunch
they gave
of
up
goals
what,
there.
like 8 on one
Kelowna,
game and
yeah.
then 6 the other game. Like
Yeah.
it was so. Take those 2 games out of it, and their goals against is
way down.
way
yeah.
down. So,
Yeah. But same thing with them; they don't have any high-end scorers either.
Right.
So.
So it's going to be scoring as much as we can. I mean, it's obvious to say you got to score more than them, but it's going to be goals are going to be tough to come.
Yeah, it's going to be low-scoring games, I think. So
Yeah.
depends what happens in Victoria. See who's playing in net there, like if
Yeah.
House is in or out or what. So
Yeah.
he kind of makes a difference, I think, for them.
Yeah, it would. So
And for Vancouver, I think the guy to watch, if you're watching the game or if you're just listening, is Bowen Byram. He's leading their team in scoring, and he's 17-year-old defenseman. So
okay,
he's definitely
defenseman's leading them in
Yeah.
scoring.
Oh, he's tied
Okay,
with there's 3 players with 14 points, and he's one of them. So
yeah,
and there's one guy with 13, and the rest of them are way down. So
okay. Bit of a different team than last week going on this road trip. So Parker Gavalis is no longer with the team. In his place, we've picked up Walker, defenseman. Basically, Strush was saying this was a move just to get a little younger.
yeah,
Not that Gavalis, he was a good player.
yeah, I thought he was
sad.
definitely he was solid out there.
Yeah, so it's sad to see him go. That being said, though, the few games we saw Walker play so far, he's a presence.
Yeah, he's looked good out there. Big guy.
He's a nice big defenseman, plays physical game from what we can see so far. And he got a point already. I think he got an assist. So
Yeah.
happy to have him. A little closer to home for him. He's from Leduc, Alberta. So his family might be able to see him a little more
Yeah.
playing some of those Alberta teams. And happy to have him. Sort of see Gavalis go. He was a good player, but
Yeah, he might not have been in the mix for next year, being a 20 next year. So, you look at
yeah.
who we got for next year, because you kind of got to start looking at that.
Mhm.
Like we got Creta, Walker, they're going to be 18 next year. And then you got Setoff, Evans, and Zonneveld. They're all going to be 17 next year. So that's going to be like your core of defensemen next year. There's 5 of them right there.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, so if you start looking at some ages and things, we've got a younger core here that could be building up once some of those guys get to 19, 20, even
Yeah,
if
look
we
at
keep
these
some of them, and
17-year-olds,
then these guys are 18, 19, we could have a pretty good defense core there. speaking of the rest of the team, Henry and Lecish and Pratt, that line is on fire.
Yeah.
I think Henry's up to, I don't know what his point streak is now. It's
Few games.
multiple games.
Yeah.
Lecition's putting up hat tricks. Like,
Yeah.
man, this line is.
Yeah, they're really clicking on the power play too. Pratt's kind of getting the shaft on the power play lately. Alkamov's been out there.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Henry's 9th in league scoring and Lecition's 18th. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch them play. They're really starting to come together.
yeah, and unfortunately we're not gonna have them much longer. I don't think so.
No, and that's what we have to start thinking and bracing ourselves for is the departure of these guys. We talked about it at the start of the season that they're going to have to make some moves just to get
Some draft picks.
draft
back.
picks
Yeah.
back.
You can't hold on to these guys, unfortunately, as much as you want to keep them. You
Yeah.
have to move them.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
just have so many.
Yeah, it's
so
the business,
few draft
right?
picks, right?
Yeah.
You have to recoup those.
it's part of the deal of having two good teams and some fun runs in the last couple of years is
Yeah.
now you have to pay the piper. So these guys, what do you see them going for?
I don't know. I don't know because the market was so crazy last year,
Yeah.
and they changed the rules. You can't trade for anybody 17 or under that's signed / playing unless they ask for a trade.
Yeah.
So you have to look at 18-year-olds, but I don't know if we even want. Well, we'd have to take back a couple bodies. Like if we're shipping out forwards, we have to get some forwards in return because we don't have anybody, obviously, right?
Yeah.
They're not bringing any forwards up. We're just playing short as
Mhm.
we are. So, it's got to be at least one first rounder, a first rounder, maybe a second rounder, and an 18-year-old
For
for
Lecition.
Lecition and Henry.
Do you see them
each.
both being equal?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think Lecition maybe a little bit more that he's a centerman
Yeah,
and he's got the face-off skill,
Yeah.
one of the best in the league.
he's got the 200-foot game, right?
yeah.
Lecition's more the scorer, right?
Henry is.
Or Henry is, yeah. He doesn't play bad in defensive zone, but Lecition brings that extra with being a centerman, right? So
If someone was really looking to bolster their team, I wonder if they would go for both.
yeah,
That would be. Oof. Hey, like we did that with the Hebig, Kubik, Hayek deal.
yeah,
We sold the farm for those guys. Like,
yeah,
if there's one team that's really looking, and maybe that's Saskatoon.
yeah, to compete with PA, right?
Any Eastern team has to be looking that's who they have to build a team to beat PA. And
Yeah.
it's a tall
So
order, but
maybe we can get our first rounders back from Saskatoon because we'd rather have our first rounders because we're going to be
Yeah.
way low in the standings
Yeah.
compared to Saskatoon.
you don't want Saskatoons. Yeah, they better
Yeah.
make that clear. I mean,
yeah.
Paddock's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He'll know
Yeah,
what
we'll
he's
take
doing.
back those firsts that we gave you.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Brandon is not usually. They don't play that way though.
No,
They're not a big buyer. They just sort of.
They're a builder and they build their own teams,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Look
they
at
don't-
last year; they sold, right? So
Yeah. They don't go for broke like that.
no,
I could see Saskatoon.
or maybe
That ownership's weird. They
Yeah,
would do it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. Or maybe look at somebody in the Central since it's kind of wide open. Not wide open, but there's Red Deer's doing well and Edmonton's doing all right. So you add a guy or two, you could.
Well, shit. Looking at Vancouver, Victoria, they need someone that can score goals.
True.
So maybe
yeah.
one of those teams. Victoria's sitting there pretty. Both of them are sitting in a stance that, this might be the year. Vancouver, Victoria might say, "Hey."
Yeah, that division's wide open.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And I think it's for the taking.
yeah,
If one of those teams bolstered their team with
some scoring.
Lecition Henry, added that to their top line. Oof,
Yeah,
yeah,
because that U.S. division looks pretty strong. So that's going to be.
it's always so hard to judge that
Yeah.
division. I don't know. Everett came in here, they beat us, then they lost to Moose Jaw or somewhat Swift Current. They lost a few on their road trip. We beat Tri-Cities, beat them.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but-
you don't see them enough, right? You just.
Yeah,
I just
it's
see
tough
them with
to
them all being over 500. I'm like, oh, look at that.
yeah, but maybe
right?
it's a bunch of crappy teams beating. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
They're beating up on those Kelownas and Kamloops, right? So.
Yeah. But I
that's
think
struggling.
I think a Vancouver Victoria team could come out of there.
Well, yeah,
with,
you look at their defensive play and their goaltending. You know,
Yeah.
both teams have good goaltending,
Yeah.
so he had some scoring.
So that's my bold prediction: is one of those two teams makes
I
a move
think-
on them,
All right.
and they would be smart to get both. There's a good synergy between them.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
would be, and then we could just rake them over the coals for it. Get some. I don't like. Who knows what they've done in the past? What do they even have to trade?
Yeah,
I
don't
haven't
know.
followed up. Like,
yeah,
I
don't
just
know what they have.
It's hard
so,
to keep track of all the draft picks that get moved around. So,
Yeah,
um,
I gotta give a shout out to Hyman again. He's 4th in league scoring for
Yeah.
defensemen.
you know what? I haven't seen him screwing up as bad.
Yeah, he's definitely picked up his game a bit. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, he's been good. So
And maybe it's one of those cases of the team struggling and him
just
as a
make-
20-year-old wanting to do too much.
Yeah, yeah,
And getting
for
out of
sure.
his game, and like we have seen him up scoring goals. Like that's not his game.
yeah.
Like,
Early in the year,
he's not
there, right?
playing. He wasn't playing like himself. So maybe he's getting back to his
defensive.
his
Game.
style.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. He's been, you know, on the power play, he's doing all right. He's distributing the puck like he should, and the
Yeah.
guys are putting it in. So he's picking up some points, and yeah, he hasn't made any of those glaring mistakes on defense.
I'd
lately.
still like to see him a bit more physical.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Like the team was getting out there and hitting this. I forget, was it the Swift Current or Tri
I
Cities
think it was
game?
the Swift Current game. Everybody made a hit on the.
And then he
and-
comes in and
And
just
he's the
like,
only guy that didn't make a hit at that one play.
doesn't even touch
just
his
bumps
it's
the
like,
guy.
Come on,
You're the biggest guy
yeah,
out there.
yeah. Walker out there throwing himself
Yeah.
around. He just got here and he's
Yeah.
Anyway, that would be nice to see him do, and his shot just isn't what I would hope. I don't know if I've ever actually seen him wind it up.
For a big slap shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the point, that'd be nice to have. But regardless, what does he have? 20
20 points.
20 points. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
We were saying he just tosses it up to Henry and Lecition, and they do the rest. Gets those
Yeah.
second assists, but regardless,
Yeah.
point's a point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, another player that's looked really great and has, I think that game against Swift where we just saw that increase of confidence is Duncan Pierce.
Yeah.
He's been looking really good. You can just see them growing. And that's what we talked about at the start of the season is we know we're not going to be fantastic and awesome, but we want to see these guys progress, and we're seeing it already this
Yeah.
many games in.
Yeah, like out on the penalty kill again, you see him trying to make a move, and instead of just dumping the puck down, okay, I'll make a move on this guy, and I'll
Right.
kill some more time and see if I can get a chance. Like they scored that shorthanded goal a few games ago there,
Yeah.
and stuff. So, you know,
Mahovlich
more,
too.
Yeah, more
They-
ice time. They're getting all this ice time, and they're getting some,
Yeah.
definitely some
Yeah.
confidence. right?
Even Marco Creta, he's not maybe the best defenseman, but he's not making huge mistakes and glaring errors.
Yeah.
And
Riker Evans looks really good. out
Riker
there.
Evans, yeah,
for a young guy.
absolutely.
He's making some confident moves.
Yeah,
Like,
really.
there was that one loose puck there. I think Lecition was coming back, and Hyman was there, and he grabbed the puck and made a confident play on
Yeah.
it. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm not going to defer to these guys. I'm going to take the puck and move it." Right?
Mhm.
Like, so
Yeah.
that's good for a 17-year-old, right?
Right. And it, yeah, he's looking up before he passed. Like, it's really nice to see some of these
Yeah.
guys growing, and that's what we were hoping for this season. And we're getting some wins and some nice games out of it. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Season's kind of going a little bit better than I thought. Now we're getting to where we could be, which is nice to see. And I don't know. I think this road trip is the make or break of this season, though. If we go through and we beat the teams we should be, so Kootenay, Kamloops, Kelowna, PG will be a challenge. That's a good
Yeah.
team up there.
So you think you should have 3 for sure? I think.
If we come home with 4 wins,
Okay, we included the Brandon game or just the West Coast?
just the West Coast.
Okay.
Come home with 4 wins.
Out of 6.
That's a major win for
Yeah.
us. That's a challenge. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting this, but if we can do that, I think that'll be a huge hurdle, and
Yeah, that
it'll
would
show
be-
what this team actually is.
If we do 3, I think I'd be happy with that. A 3-3 road trip, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a loser point in there somewhere, but
But even when this team was good, this road trip it was
It's
a
always
bad,
tough.
bad. Like, oof.
Last year we weren't good last year at this point,
No.
but we went out to the States and we won one game and we beat Everett,
Yeah.
the best team probably out there, but we lost every other game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So this is always kind of a
Yeah.
pivot point
So,
for the team, and
for
it's
ya.
always predictable. You know it's going to be this time of year,
Yeah.
and you know you're going out west,
Yeah.
to either the States or the BC division, and they do talk about how it is a good team building event too. And I think we saw that last year. They spent some time in Banff. I know Logan Nyhoff. He was talking. He's excited to go back. He's from Comox, so he's excited to show the team. BC is home province, and there's guys. I'm sure some of them haven't, like the Russians haven't been out there, so that'll be cool for them to see BC and what it's like. And yeah, who knows, that the team could come back a little different after this.
Yeah.
So, what's my actual prediction? I would say, out of how many points is that possible?
12.
12 possible.
So I think you got to get a win in Kootenay for sure.
Yeah.
2 points there. Victoria, Vancouver, that's going to be tough.
Let's hope for a loser point.
Out of the 2 games.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad. And then Kelowna Kamloops, I think you got to get at least 1 win there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I don't know, PG, they just beat Vancouver last night,
Yeah.
1-0.
That's a tough game.
Yeah, because that's a big travel day there. They got a day off in between, but that's a long trip as well.
Yeah.
So you get 2, 4, 5. If you can get 6 points out of 12, at least 2 wins. 3 would be nice.
Yeah.
I think 4 might be stretching a little
4
bit.
absolutely 4 is a stretch, but that would be a win.
I don't know.
That'd be a very successful
If they could play
road
like
trip.
they did against Tri-City every game, which isn't going to happen.
No.
You know, any game's winnable if they play like that, right? So.
Yeah. Late games too, man. The West Coast, like
Yeah.
a 9:30 start in Vancouver. Oh,
And I'm going to
it's
be
bedtime.
I'm going to be in the States there, so it's going to be 10 o'clock, so I'll be in the Eastern time zone.
Oh,
So
well, good thing you can watch the
Yeah.
replays. That's
Well,
the one nice thing about
I
it.
could stay up and watch it.
Hmm.
It's
I guess you're on
holidays.
vacation.
I'm on holidays, so.
Good for you. Yeah. Yeah. Little more casual talk. None of us won the jersey, unfortunately.
No.
God, that thing was so nice.
There was so many tickets in there.
There
though.
was. We're talking about the Nyhoff Memorial Cup jersey. God. And, looking at the patches on it, I think that there was one on the shoulder, the 18 Memorial Cup patch.
Yeah.
Didn't see that anywhere else. No other jerseys that you could have got.
They always
So that's
have
a
that
unique
one,
patch.
Yeah.
And then that poppy patch
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
was really nice. And, yeah. I didn't want to spend too much money on it because it's just
Yeah.
gambling it away. And
Yeah, it was going
gone.
to the
Like,
Veterans Poppy Fund, so it was
True.
It was a good
true.
cause. So
Yeah, it was. I know.
I put in a few bucks, but
Yeah.
I'll be done for a while. I don't need
Yeah.
to.
I put on the Puto too, one of my more favorite players of the team.
Yeah.
And didn't win that one either. So I think I'm done with the jersey draw for a bit. I'm getting a little jaded on that. So, but we were talking, the OHL did some, or is it the Q?
The OHL, both.
Both.
Had some
Did
nice
some
Remembrance Day.
Specific Remembrance Day jerseys. And it was Kingston's that caught our eye. Kitchener.
They
sorry.
always do one, it seems. And they had a beautiful one.
Very, just so nice. It actually kind of resembled our Memorial Cup jersey with the blue and the white stripe and a dove for the logo, and very, very nice.
Celebrating the 100th anniversary of the armistice. So.
Yeah. So it would be nice to see the dub do so. I'm always for more jerseys that we can buy or win.
Yeah.
And if they're nice.
There was
like,
a few, I think out west, a couple teams had some. I know Swift Current's done one in the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't, with us being so closely related to the military and stuff.
Yeah.
Surprised we haven't done one.
Yeah, and
So.
this year would have been a good opportunity being the 100th, but
And yeah.
I would love to see more chances I can get a gamer would be nice, because my collection seriously lacks any game worn jersey, and I'm trying, like, other than straight up buying them, which I almost could have done now. The amount that I put in these damn jersey draws, I could have just bought one, but the more chance to do that would be nice. And
Now maybe the back half of the season when the
Yeah.
crowds are light.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how I got my first one. The crowd it was a Wednesday night, and
Yeah.
it was like 3 years ago, and
Yeah.
there's like nobody in it.
Yeah.
There, and I
Yeah.
threw in my $10, and
That's what I'm gonna
Oh,
do.
I
I'm waiting
like-
till the Wednesday games. We actually don't have a Wednesday game now till January though. So
oh, okay.
yeah, I'll
Well,
wait for those.
yeah. Once
Maybe
we
put
trade away
some-
Henry Lecition, the crowds might be a little slim.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe we'll get a third jersey. I saw we got to talk about Lethbridge's third that
Oh yeah,
they released. It's like
it's exactly the same as their regular jersey.
yeah, the same logo, like the H, which isn't a horrible logo, but it's just then on a blue jersey. It looks very similar to our regular blue.
Yeah.
Like almost the same blue with some red bands and
White.
white stripes. It's
Yeah.
like okay.
Yeah, like,
it's nice and
they
all,
just
but
they have a white. They got their red,
yeah,
and then they just went dark blue.
like
Yeah, it's not too
Yeah.
exciting.
yeah.
I would have liked to see them do something different.
I
for a
like their
logo.
old jersey that kind of resembled the
Capitals.
Capitals
Yeah.
jersey. I mean, that's nice. They could have
Yeah.
done something with that or anything. They could have done anything other than what
Oh,
they
the
did.
cartoon Taz though.
No. No cartoon characters.
Well, they legit had a cartoon character, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah. I'm not a cartoon character
yeah,
fan. Anyway, around the league, not too much. Lethbridge, PA still holding down number one, 17-1. They don't have I was looking. They didn't have a lot of games to play these last couple of weeks, and week coming up, they're a little light, but good. Anything else? Then you want to wrap it up?
yeah. That's about it for this week. Game tomorrow, so right back at it, and then
Yeah. Usually
road trip.
I'm trying to sign off saying see you at the rink, but we won't see you at the rink for a few weeks here. It's
not till the first.
yeah. Now the riders are done. We can focus on the Pats, get more people out there, and
You know, I actually looked at that. The crowds have been all right, like the numbers wise. Like I don't know what actual
They've-
attendance is, but
yeah,
we've been averaging 5,000.
yeah. It's
So-
actually it's
That's not bad.
it's better than what I was expecting for this year. Still getting there's lots of season ticket holders. Our section's pretty much
full.
the same people from
Yeah.
last year, which is nice to see. Yeah, no, they've been okay. We'll see how it goes through.
Yeah.
Let's
See what
start losing.
happens in January, February. When it gets
Yeah.
real cold out and people that aren't season ticket
Yeah.
holders are like, I'm not going to go. It's too
Yeah.
cold, right?
Yeah,
So,
we'll see. Okay, I think that's it for this week. And make sure you try and watch the games if you have the WHO Live package. If not, we will recap them for you.
yeah, we'll be watching them. So,
We will get that news out to you. We'll get it out hopefully on the Monday because we have another Tuesday game next week. So,
yeah, we'll maybe do Sunday.
yeah.
Do a Sunday show again.
Okay, so keep an eye on Twitter. And again, just mention if you're talking to anyone about the Pats, give us a shout out to them to let them know to give us a listen.
Give us a retweet.
Yeah.
Send us out to your followers and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
just share our information. That would be great. That's the only way we'll really grow here. So, and we'll talk to you later.
all right. Bye.
Bye.
The right point for Henry. Henry into the high slot, right goal line for Lecition, and he scores! What a way to complete the hat trick from his knees at the goal line into the top of the net.